She hobnobbed with celebrities, had cars, homes, and money to burn. But it all came crashing down when the FBI arrested her at her son's elementary school graduation. And now, after more than a decade in prison, she's sharing her story of rise, fall, and redemption.
It is His love and His joy and His mercy that gets me through each and every day.
She looks and sounds like any other minister trying to save souls and change lives for the better. But that wasn't the case in the 80s and early 90s when she was labeled one of the largest drug dealers in Los Angeles, the Queenpin, as she became known. Jamaica Thompson's introduction into the world of drugs came as a teenager, selling marijuana after she met local drug dealer Anthony Daff Mosley.
He was a big-time gambler and a drug dealer, and so we ended up, selling drugs together. I was in high school, so I knew a lot of friends that smoked marijuana. So what I would do is I would tell them, hey, I had, some marijuana, and it went from a little bag to a bigger bag, and then it just went on from there to a bigger scale.
Jamaica sold pot on the streets of 12th and Venice. She got her diploma from Hamilton High School, but at the same time graduated to selling cocaine.
We started selling a little powder cocaine, and then it went on from a little powder cocaine to keys, and from keys to, more keys. And the more I sold, the more I wanted to sell. The more money I made, the more money I wanted to make. It was all about the money.
What would you say the biggest transaction at any one time that you made?
I can say my biggest transaction was anywhere from 500 to 600 keys at one time.
And that would be how much in dollars?
I would probably sell like one key for about $40,000 to $50,000 back then.
Jamaica married Daff, and the two led a lavish lifestyle, complete with expensive cars, but also expensive trappings, which came at the ultimate price. Your child's father was murdered. Can you describe what happened?
It was 1984. My husband was killed, and that was one of the worst days of my life. That I thought my world had just ended, because it was like Daff was my world.
But even Daff's death didn't stop her dangerous way of life.
In the mid-'80s, it was a lot of people getting robbed. It was a lot of people getting killed. It was a lot of people getting jacked. That really didn't concern me at that time, because I was all about getting my money, and that was my life.
Jamaica's chance of surviving the drug game was reduced as time wore on. She looked for an out by trying to go legit, selling imported hair, a business that afforded her another life, one where she could rub elbows with the stars. But it was not to be, because authorities were closing in.
I knew the FBI was looking for me, so I went on the run. And, in my mind, I said, I wasn't giving myself up. I said they would have to kill me before I turned myself in.
Eventually you felt extra safe. You came back for your son's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened then?
On the day that I arrived to my son's graduation, I got out and I had some roses in my hand to take to my son. And the FBI came, and one of the FBI's, he was very nice, and he said, "Don't make a scene. It's a lot of kids here. We have a warrant for you and for your arrest. And please come with us quietly." And so I can remember saying to him, "Please just let me hug my son."
Her son Anthony's elementary school graduation would be her undoing. Jamaica did get to hug him before the cuffs went on.
So I could imagine what he felt like to see his mother be in handcuffs and to be carried away by the FBI, and him running behind me saying, "Mama, Mama." That was very painful, even to this day. That's one moment that you can't take back,
The Queenpin of drugs and money laundering faced a laundry list of charges and ended up serving 12 years behind bars.
I began to just read my Bible and pray every day and just call on, God, and ask him, to help me and strengthen me. And I would just pray with everybody and just, encourage other people.
People will be skeptical. They'll say this is what a lot of people do when they're in trouble and they want to redeem themselves. What would you say to them?
Well, when I was in jail, a lot of people would say, I was doing that because I was in jail. But I've been free 7 years.
And now this, a new book, Queenpin, about her turn from drugs to redemption. I don't know if you ever look back and think about all the people that may have been affected out there, the other families whose children may have turned into addicts, or maybe there were murders as a result of the business they were doing with you.
I know that I hurt a lot of people, and I know I destroyed a lot of lives. But I thank God that I have a second chance, that I can go back to the community and give back, you know, something that that I took away from the community.
For more information on Jamaica Thompson's story and how she uses her Second Chance Evangelist Ministries to help others in the community, go to KCAL9.com and click Scene on TV.